Time for yet another edition of Rick, that's me, answers his email. And first up is Dennis, who has a question about why his Yahoo has changed to m.yahoo.com. And that's just something they made a change in on their end, Dennis. If you go just to yahoo.com, it'll automatically switch to that address, which is a common thing for websites to do. They'll put up a website address, and if they need to redirect you for one reason or another, and Yahoo has made changes on their website, they'll redirect you to the proper website. Phyllis, you have two questions that I have no idea how to answer. The first one is that you keep getting a Google Maps API message when you visit helpmerick.com. You're the first person that's mentioned that, and I'm not sure why that would be. I do use a couple Google Maps on some of my pages, but certainly not the home page. So I'm not sure what to tell you about that one. And the second question, it should not be preventing you from saving AVG to your desktop, because that's not even on my website. When you link to AVG from my website, you go to a whole different website, so they aren't related in any way. Gav is having problems reading and writing CDs and DVDs. More than likely, Gav, the problem is with the machinery itself. It's probably a physical problem with the disk. If you've checked for firmware and checked for drivers and all that looks good and you're still having problems, it's going to be a lot cheaper and a lot faster to go out and get yourself a new internal drive, put it in your machine, and you'll be back up and running in no time. Zilla May, this is a very in-depth question and not something I can answer succinctly on my weekly YouTube here. But in short, the shortest thing I can tell you to do is you need to find a domain name that you want for your organization. You do want to find a host. And Zilla May, a good place to start is networksolutions.com and hostgator.com. At least give you an idea of how to go about registering a domain, what goes into hosting a website, and how much that's going to cost. From beyond there, there's a lot more questions that someone would need to ask you about what your needs are before they can give you some information about what to expect. Regina, there's usually two types of speed people ask about when they're referring to speeding up their computers. One is the actual computer speed and how fast it boots up, how fast it opens programs, things like that. But more often than not, people are more interested in learning how to make the internet faster. And in that case, the only way to make the internet faster, to make sure you don't have spyware and adware and other malware on your system, you're running good security software, and if you're running a speed test and it shows that you are at the maximum that your particular server is providing, that's the best you can do without upgrading to a higher speed service through your existing provider or going outside to another provider. Al, I need to relabel the tip on my website because it's exactly the same methodology as I have up there for Windows Vista. So if you just search for instant shutdown at helpmerick.com, you'll get to this tip, and it will in fact work for Windows XP as well. Yes, Gail, having the Flash player is a very necessary item these days on the internet. Much of the video and audio that we listen to or watch on the internet is Flash enabled, and in order for you to be able to view those things, including, as you put here, some of the ads, you have to have that. So just go to adobe.com and you can click on the Get Flash Player icon and it'll walk you through downloading and installing that little product. Jim, I don't have Windows XP on this particular computer, but you can get a little icon down in your tray like you had before with dial-up by going to the network properties and then right-clicking on your network adapter and go to properties again. And then there's going to be a little button here that says show icon in notification area, which is the system tray, when connected to the internet. And then you'll have your icon there where you can see how much data has been downloaded and uploaded, including the speed of your connection. Good luck. Vigo, I'm not sure what you're referring to, because if you're saving images from the internet, you don't get a chance to resize them before you save them. I think what you're thinking of is if you're in an email or you're in Microsoft Word or some other publishing type program, you can insert an image and then you'll get your little handles around the sides where you can resize the photo or the clip art. But when you save it from the internet, you're not going to have those options. Oliver, I'll bet you have a new monitor as well, probably one of the new big flat screen, widescreen monitors. And for you to make the text and everything else a little bit easier to read, you're going to want to do the following. Right-click anywhere on your desktop, then click Screen Resolution right here. When you get to screen resolution, you can change the actual resolution here, which will make things bigger, but it does make things, I believe, a little bit blurry on these high resolution monitors. So instead, come down here to where it says make text and other items larger or smaller, And when you're in that area, you have an options for small, medium, and large. Try the medium first. It'll probably make you reboot your computer. Click medium, click apply, restart your computer, see if that works. If it doesn't, come back to the same area and try larger. Mike writes in and suggests a website for those of you that like to listen to any kind of radio via your internet connection in your computer. And the website is streamingradioguide.com. It's broken down by category. You can click on any particular category. If I click sports, it gives me a list of radio stations from around the country that are broadcasting their feed on the internet. Tells you what time it is, where they're broadcasting from, and what type of technology you'll need, or even if you need a login in order to listen to their particular feed. So it's a great website. I appreciate you sharing that, Mike. Mike also had some nice feedback for me and helpmerick.com. He's been very appreciative, and I appreciate you mentioning it. The related articles at the bottom of all the articles on the new website. So I'm glad you're utilizing it. Thanks for sharing the knowledge on streamingradioguide.com as well. Peggy, my guess is that you're using Internet Explorer to go to Yahoo Mail, and you probably just increased the size of the text in Internet Explorer. So to change that back, go into your Internet Explorer, doesn't matter which web page. Once you are in Internet Explorer, click View from the menus, click Text Size up here, and make sure you're on medium, which is the standard size for Internet Explorer. And secondly, also go to Zoom and make sure you're at 100% and you're not any bigger there either. And that should get you back up and running. George, I haven't run into this particular problem before, but I think my first suggestion would be to change the opening sound. Go into the control panel, go into Sounds, and under Sounds you can change all of the sounds related to any activity on your computer. So change the startup sound to something completely different. Make sure your volume is adjusted where you want it. Shut the computer off, turn it back on, make sure that the new sound does come on, and make sure that it comes on at a volume that is acceptable. And if that works, you can try going back to the previous sound if you want to, or just keep the new sound. Chris, to delete your Gmail account, log in to Gmail, and then at the upper right hand side click on Settings, and under Settings you're going to go to Accounts and Import, and from there go to Google Account Settings, click Edit next to the My Products, and then you're going to click Remove Gmail Permanently right in that same area. So I'll leave that there for a few seconds. This is directly from the Google Help page, and it will get you to where you can cancel your account. Robert, I think the easiest way to send email, if you're using Gmail, Thunderbird, Outlook Express, Microsoft Outlook, or some of the major online web services like Yahoo or MSN Mail, is to use Picasa. Go to Picasa.com. It's a free product from Google. Superb for managing and working with your photos, and especially for sharing your photos via the web and even printing your photos. So go get the free product. It works in XP, Vista, and in the new Windows 7 as well. That's all we have for this week. We'll be back again next week with another edition of me sitting here answering your email.